Hello, and welcome to A SANER Spin on Crazy, episode 7. This week I'm answering a question from Jasmine in Princeton, New Jersey. Actually, Jasmine works at the Princeton Public Library. She gave me permission to say that. And I will actually be speaking there on October 10th, so I'm very excited to meet her. And actually speaking the day before at Penn State Abington and the day after at a NAMI Mercer Gala. And I'm still booking dates for August and July and September and even after. So if you want to contact me or contact your local university or library or zoo or whatever, and they can invite me to come and speak, or you can contact me personally and we'll see what we can do. That said, this is Jasmine's question. After saying very nice things about the book, which I appreciate, thank you, Jasmine, she says, you write negatively of solitary confinement and how disrespectful people treated you when you were hospitalized. Do you think there are any instances in which solitary confinement would be helpful? No. I'll qualify that and say very, very few. In the cases of the Hannibal Lecters of the world and possibly transporting them places when they're meeting senators, maybe. I really think the use of both restraints and seclusion, and I put those things together. In the U.S., we use solitary more than any other country in the world. In prisons, we also use them, obviously, in our hospitals as treatment for mental illness. It turns out, and I write in the book, that using solitary confinement to treat mental illness is like using laxatives to treat diarrhea. It is. It's counterproductive. It actually induces symptoms of mental illness. When people who go in and have no symptoms of mental illness, they come out. Right? I mean, Orange is the New Black is out. Have you guys seen it? It's amazing. I love it. And unfortunately, I have a lot of areas where I'm like, wow, I actually relate to this. And I wish I didn't. So I will say, yeah, it will induce signs of and symptoms of mental illness in people who don't originally have them. So that said, so that's part of why I'm not in favor of it. Also, the use of restraints, I'm not in favor of either. Very rare instances, whether it's mechanical restraints, which would be leather or cloth restraints, which is what I was in. And I've been physically restrained and chemically restrained, so with forced medications. And which chemical restraints, in some cases, yeah, they will be necessary. But when it comes to mechanical restraints, very rarely would something like that be necessary. And I think they're used too frequently. And I wish they weren't. And I actually, this week, this is a very good question to get this week because I got an email the other day from NAMI, a mass email. If you guys aren't on their email list, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, you should be. And they have a call to action this Wednesday, June 12th. It is a national call-in day to support a piece of legislation called the Keeping All Students Safe Act. It's Senate Bill 2036 and House Resolution 1893. So basically, there's no federal regulations, no federal law restricting the use of restraints and seclusion in schools. And people have actually died, especially people with intellectual and mental disabilities. In some cases, these people are actually not even verbal. They can be autistic and then be subjected to this. And there's some really horrible instances of these kinds of things happening. So I think there should be federal legislation on that end, and it would be great if we could get it passed. So if you can call in on Wednesday, call your member of Congress and tell them to co-sponsor the Keeping All Students Safe Act. That would be fantastic. So I think I answered Jasmine's question. Next week, keep your questions coming. I'm enjoying answering them, and I will be back next week for episode 8. Until then, have a great week. Bye.